It may sound funny, but it seems to be the reality that is eating every Nigerian fresh graduate, and especially my own embassy, that is distance learning graduate. You have spent how many years at home? There was no admission. Eventually, you gain an admission. After getting admission, you spent how many years in the school? They said, "Oh yeah, you won't be going for service, so but there is something we're going to give you that is called certificate of exemption certificate or exclusion certificate or whatever." Now, at the end of the day, you want to apply for a job. You have seen the job. They say, "Oh, you should have 2 year working experience is an added advantage." It's an experience I also had, but it is what it is. That's the country where we find ourselves. But we just have to see how we navigate through it here. I have students coming to me that what is actually happening that they just want to get their certificate, and where they who they talked to get it say, oh, they need 2 year working experience. How would they have gotten 2 years? Somebody that just finished from university. So it brings about a dilemma of working experience even while you as a student. That means that your number of years in school shouldn't be solely for reading, writing an exam, and all that. You're expected to make the very best of the years while you are schooling. So that's actually what brought about this video. I want to look at what are the let me call them normal jobs that we think we are doing, which we could leverage on and make them reputable working experiences. Now, but before going into that, I want to have a rundown on some job adverts. Basically, I went. Let's start from this Facebook page by Bayero University, Kano. See, a post. Can someone help me figure out where to get experience that employers keep asking for? When we just graduated this year, doesn't all the hard work we put into earning this degree count as experience? This is a graduate now making a comment, and this is actually the reality out there. Yeah, it is quite look at this person. It is quite ridiculous. Like, how is one expected to have an experience when you are not even given the opportunity to utilize your potential as a fresh graduate? I thought they said the journey of of a thousand miles begins with a step. It is funny, but this is actually the reality. Like, this is what many people are facing out there, and unfortunately, this is the reality that many Nigerian graduates are facing. Now, I decided to go through some job websites, especially in Nigeria. Look at this, for example. This individual, this is an entry level junior associate at Koramo Advisory. This is Nigeria job, okay? And they say it is entry level. Yet, look at the experience. They said 0 to 2 year experience. So, which means that even with your BSc, if somebody should come with 2 year experience, they will pick that person ahead of you. Look at the requirements. The ideal candidate has 0 to 5 years of utilizing data. You understand? That is one. And they say it is entry level. Oh. Now look at another one here. These are not companies that I know. This is accountant, yeah, entry level at Princess Orilla Consulting and all that in Nigeria as well. Look at the experience here, 0 to 2 years of experience, and look at the assignment that the person is supposed to, the key role, the key responsibility, assist in preparing, blah blah blah. Look at this one as well. See, the role is let's look at it. Data entry clerk, ordinary clerk at Igbe or something. Now, requiring that the person should have 2 year working experience. Man, how do you inquire state? How do you save? Where do you get the working experience for? Which market can you go to get it? And to cut the long story short, you are in the school solely. Where do you get reasonable working experience, especially as undergraduate? And I pity mostly conventional students, okay, where you are actually expected to be in the school all through here. Let me go through more. Look at this one as well. Administrative and education support specialist. See the role, and at the end of the day, it's required that the person should have past admissions or customer service experience will be an advantage. Let me deceive you, will be an advantage, will turn out to be the core requirement, because if somebody that has the experience also applied, even if you have your second class upper and the person has second class lower, with the experience they'll pick the person ahead of you because they value that experience so much well. So the same thing applies to these, yeah, 1 to 4 years of experience, an administrative role, yeah, a whole lot. So I just said I went through many and I was like, this one is in Port Harcourt, this one is in Abuja here, this one is just ordinary secretary as per the requirement shouldn't be so big, but yet they slam 1 year post NYSC experience on it. You understand? See the salary from 120,000 naira. Yes, you are requesting an experience. Where do you intend to have the person gather the experience when he's still a student, right? Look at data entry. They said experience working with data dashboard or verification portal is an advantage. Basically, there are day-to-day activities that we carried out and we take them to be normal. These things, there are ways we could gather them up and make them work experience. That's actually where I'm going. I decided to have a low down. Let's pick this for example. This is another site, another job website. Let me pick backend developer. Assuming that you are a computer scientist, let's say we want to apply for this. Okay, to say Flutterwave 6 talented and 3 years backend experience, not JavaScript, Python. Or you see, basically everyone is talking about experience, and at the end of the day, where are you gonna get the experience? Okay, so that's actually what informed this video. I want to guide us through. There are some basic activities we do carried out, and those activities they could form the basics for our experience. Now, coming back to them, okay, I have lots of them. Sometimes you see yourself as, I'm just a class rep. Those I remember a student came to meet me at some point in time that if the university could give him a letter of recognition as a successful class rep for his department from 100 level up to 500 level, that he needed the letter, that he just wanted just to recognize him as a class rep. He was a class rep for his department from 100 level up to 500 level. So while the guy was graduating, he came out that, can the letter be given to him? It was funny that he was requesting that actually, but when I engaged the guy, he made me to know that there is a particular position, so to say, maybe administrative role or political role in his locality, in his state or local government or whatever, that he wants to use that experience of him being a class rep as a wing to fly above that his contemporary, the person that was competing with competing with him for that position. That's actually what you can't to be. It doesn't matter what you can't to be. It doesn't matter. Can actually form be your strength. Okay. Now I want to look at transferable skills and how you can harness them for your advantage. Okay. Let's look at let's start now. Many rules students consider normal, or you consider them to be side hustle, or you just as just something to survive. Actually, they contain valuable transferable skills that employers are actively looking for. The issue is not the role itself, but how it is interpreted and presented on the CV. Now, what I'm trying to say there is that it is not about the role. Okay, it's about how you explain, or you push, or you you sell the role to your potential employers. That's actually what matters. Now, let's look at it here. You have a shop and you are selling in that shop, and they are requesting, you are applying for a role, and the role says a sales representative or shop attendant. Whereas you've had an experience of selling maybe with your mommy, with your mom, with your dad, or whatever. When you are coming up with your CV, give your dad that company, or give that shop, give it a name, a very touch name. Then you've been attending to people selling and all that. That is customer relationship management. Okay. Now, in the situation where somebody is trying to buy buy Gary, and the Gary that you have is white, but the person actually needed the colored one. But you were able to say, ah, Oga, this one is Ijebu Gari, though it is white. You will enjoy it. Da, 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 da. Oga, what you are displaying there is persuasion and negotiation skill. Okay, and those are the things that your potential employers are looking for. But you will see that I just dey help daddy for shop, I just dey help mama for shop, and you are doing what revenue generation experience. You gathered it now over the years. Now you say, okay, let me say for example, I'm your dad, right? And you are in 100 level. Since your 100 level, you've been selling in my shop, and what we do sell in our shop is Gary and all that. Now, first year, maybe when you are done now, you want to apply for a role, you just say, okay, you can say Mr. Shooks, you can give it one touch name or whatever. Then at the end of the day, you put yourself as the sales rep there. Then you give yourself all those roles. Now, all the number of years you have spent in the school, you're still with me, okay, and you are doing this, you are doing the work. The worst that can ever happen is that for that company that you form for your dad, get a letterhead paper and formalize things. Give it, tell that sign or you sign and back it up. I once had a role like that was given to me. I developed a website for a particular company and I needed to apply for something not within the country though. But the man said, Sam, you've heard me before. I'm going to give you a letter as a consultant to my company. What did I do for the man? Actually, I just did a website for him. The guy gave me an open consultant letter, an engagement letter, that you are a consultant to my company, da 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 da. And the company has a name, right? Has a very good name. That's what we are talking about. Okay. Now, another experience that you gather is product knowledge and communication. You know, when your potential employer sees all of that, you're like, okay, okay, okay. Now, when you look at it, the objective, you manage customer interaction, you increase daily sales through effective product recommendation. Tell me who would want to reckon with that? Instead of you saying that your working experience, you put 0 year, say 0 year, you have no experience. Another job, I mean, another assignment that we assume to be normal is actually, especially this POS operator. Like you say, no, I was just handling POS. You weren't just handling POS, bro. Eh? You are doing financial transaction, you are handling financial transaction with accuracy and accountability. Basic financial record keeping, you are doing that. Trust and integrity, because before I can give you my PIN, give you my ATM, but it is trust I'm giving you. And you have integrity over the number of years, okay? And at the end of the day, you process daily financial transaction. Look at the way it was made to. Now, I process daily financial transaction with 100% accuracy and maintain transaction records. So you can even put the price, put the amounts there. For 1 month, I processed transaction records of over 500,000 naira. Bro, when you push that in your CV, hardly will any reasonable and potential employer turn you down. Okay, and the same thing applies to you as a teacher. You do lesson teaching and you say, oh, I'm just doing that as side hustle. It is more than side hustle. Okay, I don't know if you are privileged to have the knowledge of online teacher that is quite common these days. You earn dollar even while you are teaching in Nigeria. Okay, now when you are pushing up your CV to that potential employer outside this country, these are the things that you put there. You don't say that, oh, I'm not a teacher, so I've never been employed as a teacher. Don't you have a lesson that you conduct? Don't you have a school where you have ever taught? You went for teaching practice. You went for IT. Didn't you teach? Your children at home, your daughter at home, didn't you teach them? Our parents or some of our mothers are doing a wonderful job. Okay? And they are never teachers. But because of the experience that they have, they coach their children, their daughters, their sons, and they become very good. And when they are applying for a particular role, possibly teaching role, online teaching role, but they said, oh, they don't have teaching experience. Who tells you that? Okay, now just lesson teacher that you call yourself, you might be a private tutor, lesson teacher, or online private tutor, online teacher, and all that. Then you push it with all this role, teaching and communication skills. You have it, leadership and mentoring skills. You have it, curriculum planning. You have it, problem solving skills. You have it, you deliver personalized academic support and improving student academic. The potential is there. So it's all about the way you market yourself. Just as I said before, when you, however sweet your food is, if you carry it with a left hand and you are presenting it, nobody comes close to it. Okay, but if it is ordinary gari that you have in your hand and you are sitting on the dining table and you are taking it the way you are taking it, a stranger that comes in will want to come and see what you are eating. It depends on the way you you really sell yourself. Okay, the next one I want to talk about now is especially our Gen Z girls and boys. Okay, you're on the social media, you are posting this, and you have a role for social media handler for companies. Which company doesn't have social media representation now? And you are asking yourself, oh, I've never been in that role before, I do not know what to do. Who's telling you all that? You just post on Instagram, you just post and you're having engagements and you're saying that you don't have an experience. Then what are the experiences you got? The skill, digital marketing skill, content creation. Many of you, I do have some of my students here. You post. I sell wig, I sell shoes, I sell this. All those skills you are getting, you are promoting brand. Nobody knew anti-K salon, but by mere posting on WhatsApp, people get to know about the brand to the point that you are now having an Instagram handle, you have a TikTok handle, you are promoting a brand. Now, if a brand is now putting up an advert, you now say, "Oh, I don't think I have an bro." Which kind of experience you don't get? You've gathered them over time. So these are the experiences that you can use to boost yourself, especially on your CV. You manage social media accounts, you increase engagement, you increase customer inquiries, you attend to customers, you engage with audience, you have digital marketing skills, you do content and all that. Next one is student leader, especially for the class reps, the fellowship leaders. This is where you actually come in, especially for roles that are leadership roles, possibly in NGOs, possibly social media, social roles, usually with NGOs or government parastatals. And you are the class rep. Just an example was what I gave you before. Okay, they needed somebody that would be an ambassador maybe to a particular brand. And what do they want to do? They want to go solve some conflict, intertribal conflict and all of those things. And you have been a class rep. In your class there are Igbos, there are Hausas, there are Yorubas. In your class there are male, there are female, there are married, there are single, and you were their class rep 100 level. You coordinated them so well. You coordinated them so well. 200 level, you repeated the same. 300 level, you repeated the same. 400 level, 500 level, you repeated the same. Now, when they are talking about submitting assignments, you have a way of coordinating all the assignments, and you get assignments submitted to not one lecturer, to several lecturers from 100 level, and you are getting all these services done. And it's not that you are in the campus, so you are getting all these things done. When lecturers need to get in touch with students, they contact you. When university needs to get in touch, like when the exam officer needs to get in touch with, you are the one they come to. When the lecturer needs to get in touch with students, you are the one they get into. When students are having problems, students tell you, you know how to get with them. What are you saying? You are having a leadership role, leadership and team coordination. You are having the skill as in for free, and you don't want to make the very best of it. You have conflict resolution. There was an instance with my students at some point in time where one class rep was elected, the other one was trying to gang up and all of those things. Now they were able to come together, call one lecturer, then the issue was resolved. They are happily in the class now, almost graduating. That is conflict resolution skill. They are both friends together, and the class is being coordinated by the class rep today. That is conflict resolution. You have organizational skill, responsibility and accountability skill. You have them. Okay, now your CV, you coordinate academic activities for over 100 students for over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and facilitated communication between the faculty members and students and the university. There are ways to blow all these things, not just skills that you just look at that they are normal skills. Often you do most. Maybe you are on sideways, you go for TP, you go for internship, and you say, yeah, I just went there to just sleep. That's the problem that you do have. When you don't put value on the activities you do, you don't get to have the very best of from that activity. When you go for your internship, what are the activities you do? You've been exposed to a whole lot of things there. Okay, I didn't really do much there. What it really is that workplace exposure, you've gotten it. Professional communication, you've gotten it. Organizational structure, you're able to understand it perfectly well. Okay, and this is simply by the sideways you went to do. There are ways you could blow all these things there. It's just like you going on ChatGPT. Okay, now put it there that I went to do sideways in so company. What the company does include 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now give me example of roles, example of activities or skills I am expected to have gathered. I want to add it on my CV. That's all. Then you will see the different skills that will be given to you in relations to the name, to the goal, to the objective of the company or to the organization where you want to do. As you have given it will give you a lot. So you will look at them, then customize them. Okay, this one I know it, this one I do it, this add them on your CV. Add them on your CV. That is the experience there. Okay, instead of you saying that you don't have the experience. Another one is you do ushering at events, and they now said they needed event planner. You said no, I've never done event planning before, I don't know it, and you do ushering. And see, what this basically implies is when it comes to coordinating events, you have it. Customer service, you have it. Time management, you have it. You are directing people, you are directing, okay, this is who to serve food, this is who not to serve food, this is the right time to serve food, this is the right time, this is where to stay, this is where not to stay, this is where to sit down, this is the way to dress. You are doing a whole lot. You coordinate guests, you are coordinating the people that are doing having the event. You are and at the end of the day, no chaos, no trouble and all that. And you say that's just normal. It's not normal. It's not normal. Okay, that is the reason you were brought in as an usher. Okay, so it is not anyhow skill. It's something that you can have on your CV. Another one is possibly maybe you have small gigs and you assume that, oh, they are just gigs now, I'm just using them to. They are not just gigs. When there are roles like freelancing, these are the things that I believe that they are things that if you know how to really sell yourself, they will go they have a better way of coming to do you good. Another one for possibly is you are helping people out. Maybe you help people when there is an assignment, you do secretarial job, your pastor is in church, you help them to go see to, okay, they are having a visitor, you go help them in the mosque, there is an event, you help them to arrange chairs. Now there is a visitor coming, you help them to welcome the visitor, you are the one that went to the airport. All these things, they are roles, they are activities, they are skills that you are getting from there. Volunteering skills. Now when there are jobs on volunteering, maybe from NGO, community and all that, you've gotten the experience there, social experience, you've gathered teamwork, leadership and initiative skill, you've gotten the organizational impact, you've gotten the. So when they are talking about, okay, what were you able to do? I participated in community development initiatives and team-based projects. Look at the team-based project that I'm talking about. The team-based project is just me helping my pastor to welcome the general overseer to my church. And I welcomed the general. I booked the hotel for him, set him up, gave him meal. After getting him meal, then I got the Uber that came to pick him from there. Or maybe I was even the driver that took him from the hotel to the church, from the church back to the hotel, from the hotel back to the airport, from airport. Then he went to Lagos. Then I give an account of everything. That's team-based projects. Okay, yeah. So you can look at a whole lot of them like that. Another one is if there is a role, they say administrative role, office assistant, and you say, I just help people in office, so I'm not sure I have this skill. Really, there are ways to go about it. Okay, I think the core lesson at the end of the day is that most graduates don't lack experience. What you lack is the interpretation of your experience. Employers are not just asking where have you worked. What they are asking basically is what value can you bring based on what you have done. except you have been sleeping all along. If you have not been sleeping, there are certain things that you have to, or except you have been watching football and or you have been playing away your life, which I believe is not the case. Okay, but if there are reasonable things that you have done, there is no way you couldn't have gotten the experience. Okay, think about it, and if you have any issue, please put in the comments, like, share, subscribe. If there are any other areas you want me to talk about, please put in the comments. I'll pick from there. Then I will develop another content on it. Now, the powerful mindset shift that I want to give you is that instead of you saying I've never worked before, put it that I have developed skills through real life responsibilities. I just need to present them professionally. There is a student. Let me close it by saying that there is a student of mine that came to me. Then when she came, she was like asking me that I wanted to be my mentor. I was like, oh, how can I be a mentor? Okay, anyway, after accepting, I said, okay, the what I will just tell you for first and foremost, I think the person was in 100 level there. I said, I want to ensure that when you are graduating, you are better off your contemporaries. And how do I want to achieve that? Is that with your current 100 level, all the subject that you have done, come on with a proposal. The proposal is to sell yourself as a freelancer. Now, come up with a proposal that I learned this in this course, I learned this in this course, I learned this in this course. Now, I've learned them in the class. I want to practice them professionally. Now, I am offering my service to your organization pro bono for free. Submit it to organizations. She submitted and she was picked in two places. One hospital, another one big school like that. She was working there, and while she was working there, it got to a time when they were recruiting. The head of that hospital or something approached her. Do you have certificates? That because you are doing fine, we would like to bring you on board. And mind you, it started from where? Pro bono. It started from freelancing. What everyone will have sat down and you are just in school, you study, then you go and write exam, you go away. There are better ways to do this. Okay, I strongly believe that you won't end your life with only certificates, right? Make the very best of your life, and thank you for visiting, thank you for listening, and I do hope the video makes sense to you. If it does, kindly please drop a comment, like, share, and please drop a comment and subscribe. Thank you.